Don't pit. Don't pit again.
No, no, no!
And again.
What's going on, guys? It's K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. So today is Thursday. Honestly, I didn't think I was going to be able to get a video out today, but given the condition of the markets, I figured we should probably make a video today. It is Thursday. Kind of feeling like a thirsty Thursday, but be safe out there, okay?
Why? 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 Why?
This is just normal market movement, all right? Actually, believe it or not, this little correction that we're having isn't even as bad as the one that we had back from 14K. So hopefully you would think we'd be used to that by now. But that being said, guys, I do know that it sucks to see portfolios down, even though we're up like 300% still, you know, from the beginning of the rally that started way back around April. But that being said, it still sucks. So you know what, guys? I hate days like today. This is the absolute last Crypto Zombie t-shirt I have. After this, there are literally no more. This is the last t-shirt I have. If you guys want it, it's a size small. That's the only one I have left. Drop a comment below. We'll give it away tomorrow. Best I could do, guys. Best I could do. But we do want to talk about some of the key levels that we're looking at today. If we are going to go lower, where are we really going to find that support for those of us out there dollar cost averaging? Maybe it doesn't matter, but some people looking to get the best deal, well, we're going to look into that, okay? So that being said, if it sounds good to you, you know what to do. Also, if it's your first time checking out the Crypto Zombie channel and you're not subscribed, we literally do this every single day. So what are you waiting for? As you can see over here, we definitely have basically erased everything from the pump that we were calling back here. I mean, it was a nice run up, but yeah, looks like we're exactly back where we started. So it's kind of like we just erased the past few days and we're just kind of starting over again, right? So let's have a look. Let's see what's going on. You notice that Bitcoin dominance is still going up. Okay, currently looking down here though, you're seeing a lot of the altcoins getting hit harder again. You know, switching it to the Bitcoin comparative, there's a few coins that are up today. I'm not going to say there aren't. You have Monero. Leo made a comeback after the Tether FUD yesterday. Crypto.com is up 27%. So we are seeing some gains on some of the altcoins, not many of them. You're still seeing a lot of sell flashing across all of the major exchanges, and the shorts are definitely in the lead at 52.22%. So it's not exactly looking that positive right now. So let's have a look. The thing I wanted to mention is that you'll notice the greed, the fear and greed index has pulled back. We were extremely greedy yesterday. You can see right here, we put in an 83. I know some people say that this is just a BS indicator. It doesn't matter. Well, guys, it does matter because look what happened. You know, you could see the last time that we had the 92, actually, I think it was up to 95 at one point. I don't know why it's not showing on here. That was the day that we had the major crash. So you do have to take into consideration with a grain of salt, but it does help to look at these moving forward. Also, just throwing it out there, apparently Bitfinex is undergoing some scheduled maintenance. That was this morning at around 7 a.m. my time, so I don't know if that's still happening. I don't use Bitfinex. I can't use Bitfinex because I'm a New York citizen, but that being said, having a look at what is going on, nothing about this should be surprising at all to you. We've been looking at basically the same chart. We have this ascending, broadening wedge that is forming. You can see right here, it provided support. We had a little bit of resistance, more resistance, and we fell down, and lo and behold, we got supported by the top of the initial ascending broadening wedge, or the bottom of the current one. Interesting how that works out, isn't it? So this is how you play those markets, by the way, guys. When you want to long and short, you play these, okay? You obviously, I mean, you never know. We could break out, but that's how you do it. You know, you short when we hit the resistance, you long when we hit the support, okay? But I want to talk about Tom Lee real quick, and then we're going to get back into the charts because, you know, he's a perma bull. You know, he was, even during the entire bear market, he never became a bear, really. But he does say that it's important to step back and focus on the bigger picture and long-term time frames on the Bitcoin USD chart. Yes, it was a painful 2K drop in the past day. He says partially due to the Federal Reserve Powell comments. Also, Facebook Libra getting a lot of backlash, right? So, you know, originally everyone was really excited for it. That kind of created that validity, and now you're seeing, well, you know, the regulators are having their concerns about Libra, and now the public is getting very weary of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. It's amazing how fast the sentiment changes. Jesus. So having a look, we noticed Actually, right here is a very interesting one because we've actually fallen below this ascending wedge that we started way back here on June the 9th. So currently what was support is now acting as resistance. So we may be looking to come down and touch the EMA, the 200 EMA possibly. We're going to keep our eyes on that, but we knew that something was going to happen, okay? Because we had this resistance up here. We were coming to an end, but we have been supported by the downward trend, which you guys know I wasn't really paying too much attention to that head and shoulders pattern, but if you are paying attention to it and you do consider it to be valid, well, if we take that neckline, then you may unfortunately be looking at a little bit of a downward slope from here, suggesting that we may have some further downwards price action to go. However, currently, if you have a look at the dip that we had down here on July 2nd, we have still put in a higher low and a higher high. So these are still good short term. The only thing that would invalidate that is if we were to fall below here and actually come below this $9,634 level. If we were to fall below that, then I think we would have to completely change our tune on everything and become full on bearish. Whereas now currently we're just seeing a correction, right? And like I said, it's not even as big as the one that we had from here all the way down to here. You know, that was a 30.6% correction, whereas currently, you know, what we've experienced even down to the bottom of the drop was only 15. That was half of what we experienced the first time. So this is just normal market movement in my opinion, but you know, come back tomorrow if we're hitting lower lows. Well, then we need to reevaluate our situation right here. But currently, you could see that we got, I mean, like literally supported by the daily EMA 21. I mean, you could see right here, the wick literally touched it. So we haven't breached that yet. We're going to still say that that's a good thing. We're still following the trend so far. Having a look at the EMA ribbons on the daily, really nothing to complain about. We're sitting above the entire ribbon. So I mean, that's just the trend currently right now, so I don't really have much to complain about that moving forward. And obviously, the Bitcoin dominance is off the chart. Now, currently, we're reading 68.2%. Now, this is the one over on TradingView. And, you know, as we've seen, as the Bitcoin dominance continues to go higher and higher, excuse me, guys, a little bit of a dry throat today. The altcoins tend to obviously get hit harder, and you don't really see those rallies, right? Now, we talked about the alt season potentially happening, when it's going to happen, all right? I'm going to get into that in just a second. But, you know, one of my favorite analysts on Twitter, Josh Rager, he says that Bitcoin is not overly convinced with the volume. Buyers aren't confident in this area, and it reflects in lack of buying volume. So buyers are not confident. That's something we have to think about right now. You know, people aren't really buying right now, whereas everybody was FOMOing in, trying to chase the Bitcoin high, right? We were just going to the moon. How quick can I buy this, right? And now that we've had the pullback, people are going, wait, hold on. Maybe there's a better entry, right? But he does say price could make it as high as 12K on the 4-hour chart, but in his opinion, will continue downward. This can turn into the short the rally type of scenario for now, which, listen, it's a volatile place, right? Traders want to make money. So yeah, we're going to have those shorts. We're going to have those longs. We're going to have price volatility. But overall, I still do believe we're going up, guys. It's just a matter of where is the next stop if we go lower. Maybe this is it. Maybe that's all we're going to get. You know, we've had the 15%. Maybe we're going to stop there. Or, you know, some guys like, you know, Tone Vase, etc. You know, a lot of guys think we're going to go a lot lower. Now, this 80% correction thing, I don't think that's happening because that's crazy. If we were to have an 80% correction from our current price that we're at right now, literally, that would put us lower than the low of 3,100, which I literally don't think that's going to happen simply because the 200 weekly moving average, in my opinion, just will prevent it. I just don't think that will go that low. But, you know, some people think that we might still have to fill these CME futures gaps. And if you are of that belief, then we could go down to the $7,200 level. But the thing is I don't think if that was to happen, even if you do think that is the bearish case, we're not going to just instantly go there. There's going to be some type of a signal, some type of a, you know, something that'll give us, you know, I guess a signal that we're going lower. And currently, we're still putting in a lot of really bullish indicators, right? You're not really having anything screaming sell, except for just some healthy correction, you know, after the exuberant run-up. And the other thing that I want to talk about, if we're really just going to put in the bearish case right here, you know, one of the biggest levels that we've been holding down here, if you look at the VPVR, which is basically where the highest amount of volume was traded over a specific price price, right? You can see the majority of it was done around 7,917. So I don't know if that was a psychological barrier around the $8,000 level, but you could see right here, it's very massive. And I do think that if we were to come down here, there is a very, very, very good chance that we would be supported by this $8,000 level, a little bit below 8,000, 7,900. Now, I wasn't even thinking that we were ever going to see four figures again, but you have to be realistic because you can definitely get caught up in, becoming, as crown words at a bulltard, right? But you can get, caught up in the price action, and we're all guilty of it, right? But you do have to maintain that realisticness to the situation. So if we were to go lower and you do think like ultimate full on bear, then if we were to have that correction currently from where we are, that would be about a 31% drop. So, you don't usually see these drops much larger than 30% to 40% if you're talking about believing that we're in an upwards trend, believing that this is a bull trend, the beginning of a bull market, which I do. So, that being said, if we were even to go there from the all-time high wick of 14, that would be a 42% pullback. And I think like the biggest one that we saw leading up to 2017, I don't have it pulled up right now, was about 44%. So that would be on track for the types of pullbacks that we were used to in the 2017 run-up. So if we were to repeat that again, not to say that history will, then $7,983, 8,000, there's really no reason why we'd go lower than that. So that is my lowest target for now. That's if we keep going lower though. We're still being supported right here by the 21 EMA on the daily. So if that's the case, we might just ride this wave out and everything could just be all hunky-dory. You know what I'm saying? So obviously the thing is when you're looking at charts, okay, you have to understand that charts don't show you where we're going. They show you where we have been, okay? So unless you are a fortune teller or you can read what's going to happen in the future, the reality is that nobody knows where these charts are going. But if you look at the trend, which has been our friend, and you do notice every time we've dipped below, this 21 EMA on the daily, we've pulled right back above it. And the fact that we are respecting it, see, look, we dipped below it here, pulled right back above it, and we're respecting it, tells me that this is still currently the trend. And also we do have all of this support potential support down here at the $7,946 region. So that is what I wanted to point out. But speaking about, investors are worried, right? Like right now, you're noticing volume dropping off. We had some massive insurgents, and now everyone's afraid to buy. Well, I wanted to talk about what Anthony Pompliano had to say over here, and this was actually on Yahoo Finance, and they asked him, do you think people maybe are scared to get in right now? Do you think that's the situation? And honestly, I don't think I could word it better than him. So I'm going to just play this clip for you guys real quick, and then we're going to get back to some more discussion on the current situation and the markets.
Do you think investors will be able to shrug off those recent memories because that could make people a little bit hesitant in order to invest in Bitcoin?
The most important thing about Bitcoin to remember is the best performing asset for the last decade, right? It's outperformed every other asset. And so that volatility is really important when you have a nascent asset. In terms of the bear markets, if you've bought Bitcoin on any day since the very first day it ever was liquid and you held it for 3.5 years, you've made money in terms of US dollar price. And so I think it really rewards people who have a low time preference. And so what we're seeing is that if you want to trade around, you want to have this short-term time preference, then you're more likely to get caught in the volatility, but that long time preference and supply-demand economics take over and price continues to appreciate.
Anthony, I want to get your thoughts.
So there you go. You guys know the long-term outlook on this is quite bullish. Also, I want to get Pomp on the channel. What do you guys think? I'd love to have this guy on the channel. I haven't really done a lot of interviews in a while. If you guys want Anthony Pompliano on the channel, go hit him up on Twitter, text at him or tweet at him and tell him that you want him to come on the channel because I think it'd be cool. I could probably reach out to him too, but maybe if you guys do, maybe he'll come on the channel. I think it'd be cool. I don't know. I'd love to talk to this guy. He definitely picks you up on your bad days. Anytime you're feeling down, you just let Anthony Pompliano make a couple bullish Bitcoin tweets and then suddenly everybody's day is so much better, right? But talking about the altcoins, so Peter McCormick had a pretty salty tweet storm. He said the reason you haven't had an alt season is simple. You all know that alts are junk and alts aren't worth crap. You're hoping for more clueless morons to pump this crap, but they aren't here. 2017 was a one-off. We were all clueless. Buy Bitcoin and STFU. Now, a lot of people down here are saying, let the altcoin rally begin. Everybody's capitulating. Everybody's getting out of their altcoins, right? So that's when you should be buying the altcoins. Now, listen, I do think that when some of these altcoins do start taking off, I think it's going to be freaking explosive as long as you're in the right ones. I mean, currently we're seeing ones that are still going against the trend. You know, Quant, actually Matic is actually up today too, I believe, in, you know, if you actually flip to the Bitcoin comparative. So there are altcoins that are doing well, but not all of them will do well moving forward. So we're going to talk about that probably for the next few months on this channel, because we want to see that Bitcoin dominance pull back to allow the alts to breathe. If it doesn't, I still think it's going to be a lot tougher times for altcoins. But, you know, getting back to sort of Bitcoin again, because it really just is about Bitcoin right now. And I know that that's upsetting for some people that are holding a lot of altcoins. But listen, I'm just telling you what's happening right now. This is just what's going on. And you can see right here, they also talk about the weekly RSI. And it's saying that Bitcoin is essentially massively overbought. They're saying that as it's approaching this resistance of 90, this is a level that's never been breached. So in other words, they're saying Bitcoin has always retraced after tapping this RSI resistance. So this is also another thing that basically was to be expected, right? I wanted to also talk about the Winklevoss twins, because if you want to talk about the long-term picture, and if you really do believe that Bitcoin is gold 2.0, well, then they're saying we need to get up to the market cap of gold, which is 7 trillion. So obviously, if Bitcoin gets up to the market cap of gold at 7 trillion, well, clearly we're talking about a Bitcoin that's well over $350,000 per Bitcoin. So short term, take these corrections with a blessing, people, because one Bitcoin being worth over 350K, I would be trying everything in my power to get a Bitcoin, at least hold one. And I'll tell you what, I would be happy to see it go lower to accumulate much cheaper. I mean, now, you know, looking back to when Bitcoin was at 3K, you know, I was buying, but I feel like I could have maybe been buying a little more aggressively, right? So you always kick yourself when the price is up, and then when the price is down, you're like, oh no, it's crashing, I'm not going to buy, I'm scared. But in the end, fast forward, all of the highs eventually become lows, right? So we know this. The charts, show us. And don't forget that it's not just looking at the technicals. It's not just looking at, oh, the institutions are going to come in and they're going to, hedge their money against whatever. You also have situations like this. Now, over in Zimbabwe, it says that they reintroduced the Zimbabwe dollar unit that they had abandoned in 2009 and banned settlement of local transactions using the US dollar, British pound, South African rand, and basically any other types of foreign currency. So there's crypto experts in Zimbabwe that are saying that peer-to-peer trade in Bitcoin is surging. So the problem is when you have these OTC Bitcoin deals, they are not reflected in the price. Can you imagine if all of these over-the-counter deals were factored into the price of Bitcoin? Bitcoin would be going through the roof right now, right? But unfortunately, these aren't reflected on the spot markets, right? So we don't see the effects of it. But you can see right here, they talk about a mobile platform, EcoCash, being the dominant payment platform for Bitcoin traders in the country. And really quick, just to end off, you have Tawanda Kembo. He's the CEO and founder of Golix Cryptocurrency Exchange, which was affected by the central bank's directive to ban exchanges from crypto trading. And he says what we're seeing right now is a lot of demand for Bitcoin, and there is a little supply compared to the demand. So all the activity in Bitcoin, you guys heard that slip, right? All that activity we're seeing in Bitcoin is happening on dark markets instead of exchanges. It's been a crazy week, guys. You got to admit. So this means traders and facilitators in Bitcoin trades are still processing a lot of transactions over the counter and on a peer-to-peer basis. I don't know of any crypto exchanges that have any significant volume in Bitcoin trades, but over the counter is booming, but it's not being reflected in the price. There is so much going on in the background of this market, guys. So much that we're not seeing. So I wouldn't be going, full on bear mode just yet. Wait till we put in a lower low. If we do that, then we can confirm a trend reversal officially. Currently, right now, we could just be having some crazy volatile accumulation, right? Could be. Why not? We've seen it before. Also, talking about some quick news really quick, and then we're going to get on out of here, guys. We have Binance saying that margin trading is now available. They have, Binance 2.0, they're calling it. So this includes Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, BNB, Tron, and USDT initially. But you can fund with any supported Binance coins. Fees are 0.02%. Which is pretty normal, 0.01% for BNB. So once again, trying to incentivize people to use BNB. However, they're only offering up to a 3x leverage currently, which some people might be disappointed. I would argue that maybe that's kind of a good thing because it's a lot safer. Allowing people to have 100x leverage and 50x leverage is pretty much just asking for liquidation. I mean, honestly, it's gambling to the highest degree. But that being said, considering what they're doing with getting rid of, U.S. citizens and having us move over, I don't know how that situation is going to play out long term. So currently, I still personally like ByBit. I'm not going to use Binance for this, even if I can for some reason. I'm going to just keep using ByBit. I like ByBit. I love the fact that you can customize this. You can actually move the stuff around. I think that's really cool. And also, I've just had a really great experience with it. You don't really have those, those crazy wicks or overloads that you get on BitMEX, right? So if you are interested in this, I did do a tutorial on it a while ago. I will drop that above. I do have a referral link below, guys. You don't ever have to use any of them. They just help out the channel. But yeah, I mean, as far as this Binance thing goes, I'm probably just going to keep using ByBit because I've just had a really good experience with it. And I would assume that also ByBit will roll out, like Tron and these other ones moving forward. So yeah, I mean, I would assume it's only a matter of time. You do currently have Ethereum, EOS, and XRP, so I would assume that you'll be getting a lot of the other tokens on here as well moving forward. And so that was that situation. Also, Poloniex now supports crypto trading using bank accounts, debit, and credit cards. So this is just making it that much easier for people to get in and to get out. The barrier of entry is one of the biggest problems that we have in the crypto space. Even people that are like, yeah, I want to buy Bitcoin. I just don't know how to get in. I don't know how to buy them. Or yesterday we were talking about people that are completely misinformed about Bitcoin and think that you have to actually buy an entire Bitcoin. That just shows a lack of education. A lot of people out there don't know that you could buy fractions of Bitcoin, and think about how many people didn't buy Bitcoin all this time simply because they didn't know that they couldn't buy fractions, right? So, I mean, that comes down to us. That is our job to educate and make sure that these people are aware of this. But I want to end on some good news because it's a really bloody day. Why end on bad news? So they have a breakthrough for the crypto industry. The US SEC has approved its first ever token offering. So this is Blockstack's Reg A Plus application to issue an allocation of its STX token in a public securities offering. The first ever time the financial watchdog has greenlighted the issuance of a crypto token. So, you take a couple steps forwards, you take a few steps backwards, but in the end, as long as we're moving forward, as long as we're progressing, as long as the space is growing, that's the important thing. Fundamentals are booming, mining is doing great, Bitcoin network activity is at an all-time high. We had a little bit of a pullback, and it was 15%. It wasn't even as big as the one that we saw before. So keeping our eyes on some of these key levels. Could we go down to the $8,000 level? Yeah, I mean, that's where the VPVR was the biggest, was the strongest, right? So, I mean, I'm still keeping my eyes on that moving forward, but currently we still are being supported by a lot of these moving averages. So until the trend is not our friend, well, then we'll have a different discussion. But that being said, thank you so much again for coming back to the channel. Trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter than usual, just to, kind of keep the momentum moving here. Don't forget, we are giving away the t-shirt, and also every Monday we do give away the Ledger Nano S. All you have to do is drop a comment on any video, and you are eligible. Even if it's a video for the shirt, you're still eligible, okay? So that being said, thank you so much for coming back to the channel. I know it can't always be a green day, but what are you gonna do, guys? That's crypto. That's how the cookie crumbles. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Once again, if you're not subscribed, definitely get subscribed. We talk about crypto every single day on this channel, and we've been doing it for quite a long time, and I have no plans on stopping. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. I do this